does buying new gear make you more creative? Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much once again joining me for tea time. Today we have a little bit of misty morning and focus combination. I love the zing. I love the bergamot. So good in the morning. So good. If you haven't picked up any of my teas, go check them out. darkmoonteas.com, or you can go over to JCristina.com. Been making those for just about a year now, and a lot of people love them. They keep buying them at least. Anyways, go grab yourself a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, or as I always say, maybe something harder. Depends on what you're into, or maybe what part of the planet you're on. So today we're going to be talking about creativity. Now, this is a VR based on an article that I read over at Petapixel. And it was from a nice gentleman named James Morgan. And the title of this article was Why Real Photographers need to keep buying new gear. And this article basically goes 180 to my beliefs. But I read it with an open mind, and I want to discuss it with you and get your thoughts on it, because I think it's very important. Creativity is basically all that we do. Right? Doesn't matter if you're in photo, if you're in video, it doesn't really make a difference. Anything in this industry is creative. We need to think out of the box. We need to just get out there and create things that we haven't seen before, or maybe iterate on some of the stuff that we have. But creativity is the basis for all of it. Now, is the camera equipment or is the video equipment the catalyst for the creativity? So let me get into a couple little excerpts from this article, and I want to discuss it with you a little bit. And once again, I want to get your thoughts on it. But before I do, I want to say that if you haven't downloaded any of my ebooks as of yet, go check them out. Go over to JCristina.com/books. Once again, JCristina.com/books. You can find 10 tips at making tax sharp images. It's 100% free. There's something there for amateurs, pro-ams, or professionals. You're going to glean something from that book. And once again, it is free. JCristina.com/books. So getting right into this, once again, the article name is Why Real Photographers Need, in caps, to keep buying new gear. If you take all of the emotion out of shopping for your photography gear, then you'll probably end up with a set of professional quality zooms that cover an extended focal length. They will be flexible and last for years, but that's just boring. He continues by saying, if you just stood there going through the motions with the same old boring gear, you won't necessarily be enjoying yourself. Your lack of enthusiasm will show in your attitude at the time as well as the photos later. He then asks, what gets us most excitement? And he says, new gear. Exclamation point, new gear. He continues by showing a photograph that he took in one of his wedding assignments. And he says that this wedding photo definitely would not have been possible without the pure passion and creativity that comes from constantly buying new camera gear. So this is his photo. It's basically a silhouette of, I guess, the bride and groom walking in the sunset or possibly the sunrise. So could have been possible with old gear. I'll leave that up to you to figure out. Now, he continues by saying, the next time your significant other is struggling to understand why you had to replace a fully functional piece of equipment with something almost identical that costs twice as much, show them this article. So, the gear does not make the photographer, in my personal opinion, or the creativity. The photographer always, has always, and will always make the gear. Once again, the gear does not make the photographer makes the gear. This has been my assertion from day one. I've been doing this for over a couple of decades now, and I think it remains that way. Has this article changed my mind? Not really, but he has some points in here, and I want to kind of go through them. Now, if you need a specialty lens or a specialty type of gear to capture a photo for your specific profession, doesn't matter if it's photo or video, well, so be it. You need that lens or you need that camera. Absolutely. If you need medium format because you're shooting, let's say, fashion like I do, and you need very large files that are later going to be pushed and pulled and those pixels massaged, and you need a lot of them, well, medium format's probably the way to go. Now, if you are doing a lot of architecture, well, at that point, probably want to get a tilt shift lens. Why? So that you can get all of your lines correct in camera and not in post-production. As I always say, you want to get things right in camera, not in post. In post, it can get wonky. Just get it right to begin with. So you would buy a tilt shift lens. So yes, there is reasons to buy certain gear. But the premise of the article is that you should be replacing your gear all the time. When you buy new gear, it makes you more creative. Now, could brand new gear inspire you, get you excited? Absolutely. I would agree with that 110%. But when that luster fades and the sparkle is less sparkly, you're back to the beginning. All right? You're back to where you were. And what would happen, according to him, is you would buy new gear to get that feeling back. I don't work that way. My suggestion, and what I have always done over the decades, is that when my creative juices kind of wane, what I personally do is I go lo-fi. I go low tech. I'll grab some 35 millimeter film or some medium format film, grab a camera and go out there and shoot 100% manually. Why? It's difficult. It allows you to be creative when things are not so easy. This is very important as a professional. I personally use a Minolta SRT 102, 35 millimeter film in it. I go out black and white and I start shooting my fine artwork. That is a means for me to get that creative juices flowing again. And I do it every month, sometimes every other month, but it helps me a lot. The other thing that I've done over the years, once again, lo-fi, I get an $80 50 millimeter 1.8 plastic lens, and I shoot only with that. No zoom, no nothing. The zoom is my feet. 1.8, that is it. That's what you got, and that's what you shoot. This allows your mind to kind of expand and open up, and you solve problems and still create in doing so. It allows you to get better at your craft. This is the difference between a professional and an amateur. A professional in the most adverse situation will still get the shot because they know how, right? Their creativity, their means of thinking out of the box is up here, whereas the amateur is more down here. It is not about the equipment. It's about what's in between your two ears. That has always been the case, and I think it will remain the case going forward. So once again, my suggestion is to go lo-fi. The point here is to basically push yourself. When you push yourself, you not only get better at your craft, but it brings those creative juices out. It is very important. Struggle to get the shot. Do not use the equipment as a crutch. Do it yourself. This is why I'm a proponent of shooting manual. Take it off aperture priority, take it off shutter priority, just stop already. Put the camera on manual and go out there and shoot with a cheap lens, and you'll be surprised what happens by the end of the day. Once again, learning to solve problems and get the shot in the most adverse situations is what a professional needs to do. It is not about his or her tools. Once again, it's about the wetware in between their ears. My question to you is, what do you do when your creativity wanes? You know what I do. What is it that helps you? What do you do to get that fire back? Are you like James that basically buys new gear to get his creativity back? Or do you do something else? I want to know from you, because I think this is an important conversation. A lot of people do not get into the idea of creativity and how important it is whenever you do anything that is in our industry. Doesn't matter if it's photo or video or illustration or anything. It is all about creativity. And your clients are not paying you to use a specific piece of gear. They're paying you for your creativity. They're paying you for what you have up here, what you can give them. If you're doing a commercial shoot, for example, how can you best illuminate or bring attention to the product that your client is trying to sell? If you're a portrait photographer, for example, how can you accentuate the positives of your client and lessen, let's say, any of their negatives? So once again, I want to hear from you. I want to know your thoughts. I want to know how you become more creative, or when your creativity wanes, how do you get that spark back? Is it with gear, or is it something else that you do? I'm sure everyone would like to know. So in the comment area below this video, put your thoughts. We all want to hear from you. We want to know what you do. So if you enjoyed this video even a little bit, please throw it a big thumbs up. That would be very, very helpful. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel as of yet, please do so and click the little bell icon over here so when I go live or when a new video comes out, you will be notified of it immediately. And finally, head over to my website, JCristina.com, where you can find all the photography gear that I've invented for you and me over the years, and hopefully there's something there that you might like. And if there is, please pick it up and support me and my family. That's it, guys. I'm out of here for the end of the vlog. Many blessings to you and your family. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay creative.